Hey everybody, I just finished my very first book in the Tales from the Crypt book series. I'm not sure exactly how many of these are. I've actually had this book for years, and I've never touched it. I've actually flipped through it a few times as a kid and looked at the artwork, but I never really tried reading it until now. It's Halloween close enough, so I decided to try it. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys up front, this was kind of a book that I just kind of read when I carried it around with me when I went to out of town and stuff, and I kind of read it while my girlfriend drove and different things like that. This is like my traveling book. This is the one that I didn't really care too much about, and I think I did that the right way. Um, because this book wasn't great. It wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible or anything like that, but there are a lot that I didn't like, and I think there's more that I didn't like about it than I did. But it is still kind of hard to rate a book like this on a scale of 1 to 5, because it's an anthology. It has 6 short stories, and yeah. First off, let me start by saying I love the cover art here. I've always loved this cover art, and I still kind of want to collect these books, even if the cover art's the only thing that I like about it. But yeah, I'm gonna flip through and I'm gonna show you guys what uh what the table of contents looks like. So we got, yeah. I'm gonna have to hold this table of contents out because I'm not gonna remember the names of these books. Because I mean, look at this. First story is called "Fair Tonight," followed by "Increasing Clottiness." No idea. The story starts off with this guy. He's a cab driver, and he's looking for work, and he's looking for people to pick up, get some money. Um, he pulls over, and it's pouring down rain. He sees this newspaper guy selling newspaper. He looks at the newspaper, and he sees that it says something about this a doctor talking about there's a vampire on the loose, right? And the it names the doctor that believes there's vampires. He ends up picking up this guy that's really sketchy, and his briefcase says that he has the same initials as this doctor. He tells him to pull over to this like weird secluded place that's very quiet. He gets out, and he runs into something, and I'm not gonna say what. And then it just something else happens, and it ruins the whole story. This story I think was the best written, probably in all of the stories, but that twist in the middle really knocked it down. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5. Again, let me fair warning, if I don't remember exactly what I gave each rating, just check out my Goodreads. I'm gonna try to remember what I gave each one. But yeah, I know I'll get close because I think I only gave 2 of these 4 out of 5. The rest were like 3, or there's one that's even a 2. But yeah, that's Fair Tonight, followed by Increasing Clottiness. The next story I got is Ghost Ship, and this one was the easily the worst of the series, or the worst of the story collection. These two people are on a honeymoon. The airplane crashes. They get on this boat. They raft over to this boat. They get on it, and they see a skeleton in the, I think like the lighthouse part of it, like where it's like the captain part. They see this guy down in the basement reading a book. They climb down. The guy's gone. The book is still there. They pick it up. It's a diary. They start flipping through, and it's just diary entries. The rest of the story. This one sucked. The diary entries were written like Shakespearean almost. I mean, I don't know. It was like a foreign language to me. I didn't love it. It was definitely aged. The captain stuff was scary, and the ghost bookman was scary. But other than that, this one was a hard miss. I gave this one a 2 out of 5. A corny story. This is our first story that I actually really liked. It's kind of like a Cuckoo Clock of Doom kind of story. There is this guy. He is running this factory working place. He's like a successful businessman, and he doesn't like it when people get old, so he gets rid of them. He fires this guy. This guy goes and meets this witch, and he tells the witch that he wants revenge, and we don't know what it is yet, but it goes back to this businessman, and he gets this present. He opens it up, and it's a tree, and the tree is supposed to do something with age, and we learn quickly that this guy starts like reverting back to his like different stages of life, like a teenager, a young man, and different things like that, and he starts acting more immature. And yeah, this one had a really fun ending, really creepy ending that I thought was actually more scary the more you thought about it. Yeah, a corny story. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really good. And we actually got two good ones in a row. And the next one is None But the Lonely Heart. It's basically about this guy that's like a player that dates these women and he kills them in different ways. Like he makes everything look like an accident. I don't remember exactly how he kills each one, but I'd have to flip through it, and I don't. I actually don't remember exactly what he does, but he kills them and he gets their money. I think he gets their money anyway. But yeah, he gets this letter in the mail, and he's telling the story to his dog, by the way. And he gets this letter in the mail, and he sees a picture of this girl that's wanting to go out with him. He goes to where she's at, and then something predictable happens, but this is easily the best story in the book. Yeah, I give this one a 4 out of 5. I didn't give it a 5 because the writing, again, was very, very aged. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how the... I'll explain more about the writing maybe towards the end of this review, but yeah, that's the only reason for that one. The Curse of the Full Moon is the next one, and it's a werewolf story. And I don't understand how you mess up so much on a werewolf story, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil the next one. You mess up on that one too. Yeah, this one wasn't great. It starts off with this guy. The setting is good. He's running through, I think, like New England or something. I don't remember. But he knocks on this door to a psychiatrist, and he starts telling a story that this psychiatrist was a part of, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Basically, they went out of town. They went to this, like, place in, like, Bermuda, I think, or something. It's some weird place. I don't know. And he gets hit with a plant called wolfbane, and there's, like, a guy that tells him that the wolfbane will turn him into a wolf when the moon is full. And, yeah. He finds these newspaper articles about different things happening, like a dog being torn to shreds, and he finds this jacket that has blood on it, and different things like that, more stuff pointing at him being a werewolf, and then we get a twist. And the twist is actually really good. I enjoyed that, but this one, again, didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I don't understand why he was telling somebody a story that this guy was apparently a part of. I don't know. Yeah, I give this one a 3 out of 5. I thought it was just okay. The very last one is Concerto for Violin and Werewolf. I don't even know what to say about that. This one's about this violin player. He is going to go see his old violinist, or old teacher, his maestro, and he basically meets him, and he warns him he needs to get out because there is werewolves out here. And yeah, the guy decides he's going to go hunt for the werewolves, and something happens. And that's literally it. There's really not much. This is the longest story in the book, and less stuff happens. The writing was very, very noticeable here. Yeah, I gave this one a 3 out of 5 as well. And that's pretty much it. That's Tales from the Crypt, Volume 2. Again, I might collect these just for the artwork. I'm not 100% decided yet. Maybe there's some better ones out there. I'm not sure. If you guys read any of these books, please let me know. Are they worth actually collecting? I think there's like 8 of these, 6 of these, is something like that. But yeah, let me know if these are worth collecting. And when I say that the writing was aged, what I mean is, okay, so like the story about the ghost ship, like there's this guy, he's like, come on, old chap, or something. You know, it's like writing like that. Like it sucks. It's terrible. And the werewolf one towards the end, I literally almost DNF'd this book just because the last story was just taking so long to finish, and nothing happens. Like most of these stories are just filler with like 2 scenes of something scary. There is some good visual stuff, like with the town at the end of the werewolf story. That's pretty cool. But other than that, this one was good. This one was just I gave the whole story, the whole book, a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was just average. There's only really 2 good ones, in my opinion. The rest were mediocre, and then you had one really bad one. The ghost ship was easily the worst. It was literally just pages of diary entries, and yeah. Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out too. I'll flip through it really quick to show you guys like what the artwork looks like. You know, it's pretty cool. Black and white. Pretty neat. But so when you're reading the story, the comic book part of that pops up, and sometimes that doesn't relate to either the passage before or after. Like it'll literally like have it'll be under a paragraph, and then the comic part will pop up, and that will be in the middle of the next paragraph on the next page. So you literally have to read that and then read that comic book part and then go to the other page and read it. But it's like the same. It like paraphrases the next paragraph for you, which I guess is a little fine, but it didn't. Yeah, it was really hard to read because it felt like you read the same thing twice, and then sometimes that would spoil what happened, and then sometimes it'll be something that's just the page that you've already read before it. Like the paragraph before that will be the same thing, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Tales from the Crypt, Volume 2, 3 out of 5 stars from you guys. Please let me know in the comments below, what did you think about this book? Thank you. Bye-bye.